Welcome. Call the meeting to order. Middletown Police Commission. All commissioners present with the exception of Commissioner Sullivan. Chief?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. Start off the meeting this evening with communications. The only communication that I have to share is it's a continued communication from last meeting as well from Mr. Eddie Hearns in regards to his personnel complaint. He's had some additional correspondence in regards to the status, and he's been requested again to supply additional video. He has now indicated that that is the only video that he has, and indicated that his system had failed him, and that's all he has available at this point. So I don't know if you would like to discuss that any further, if you'd like to. No? Okay.
No, I have no desire to. I've read the paperwork, and with absent of the full video, I don't think there's anything for us to review, unless anyone wants to bring, to look at it again as a board. Anybody? Nobody?
Okay.
So just, we'll respond to him that his request, we stand by the decision that was made.
Yes, and that's, I believe that was one of the communications sent to him, unless he provided something different.
Yep.
I don't have anything in old business unless anyone from the commission does.
Nope.
Moving into new business, the May Police Commission minutes were forwarded to the commission. If I could have a motion to accept them as written, unless there's errors or omissions.
Motion.
You got it?
I make a motion to accept.
Oh, okay. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. April monthly stats, or May monthly stats, I'm sorry. Still doing fairly good for the year. And just as a reminder for anybody listening, that our monthly stats are listed on our website every month. From April to May, we saw a 13% decrease in call volume. Our Part 1 crimes year to date are still on a downward trend. We're showing a 39% decrease. Over the previous month, a 23% decrease. Part 2 crimes year to date, we have an increase of a 1.4%, and over the previous month, a 3.4% decrease. Arrests year to date are down by 7%. The previous month, last month, we had 133 arrests, which was a increase of 10% over the previous month. And traffic summonses year to date are up 59%. In the month of May, 322 summons were issued, which was a 7% decrease over the previous month. And in the month of May, we had a total of 8 incidents that resulted in uses of force, which ended up being 6% of our total arrests. Would the commission like to discuss anything in detail from the monthly report? Questions, concerns?
No questions.
Just an update on our staffing. On last Friday, June 11th, Lieutenant Tobin did his official walkout. His official retirement date is June 19th. After 20 years of service, his walkout was actually on the exact date that he started his career with Middletown Police. So he planned accordingly to go out exactly 20 years to the day. Just this past week, I was notified by Police Officer Anthony Danielewski that he is going to be resigning from the Middletown Police Department here in the next week or two, and he's going to be taking a position with the Orangetown Police Department in Rockland County. Anthony's been with us about 2.5 to 3 years. He is outside of the window for any type of repayment because he came to us certified from another department, so we had no training cost incurred with him. And some other anticipated retirements this year. Sergeant Frank is scheduled for July 17th for his retirement. Lieutenant Welch, July 29th. And I haven't officially been notified, but through the veins of the police department, Sergeant Magzamin is looking to retire in November of this year as well. With Sergeant Frank and Lieutenant Welch, we do have walkouts and luncheons planned for them. Sergeant Frank's going to be on June 25th, which is next Friday, 2 p.m. luncheon, 4 p.m. walkout. Sergeant Frank's going to be leaving us after 19 years of service. Lieutenant Welch, his walkout and luncheon will be on Tuesday, June 29th. Luncheon will be 2 p.m., walkout will be 4 p.m., and when he leaves us, it'll be after 22 years of service. Not counting any of those upcoming retirements or resignations, I have 4 current vacancies, currently at 67 sworn members, budgeted for 71. We're currently working on 2 background investigations. One is for a certified police officer that has some time in the New York City Police Department. One would be a brand new hire that would need to be certified. The one person that attended the agility exam on May 15th that we spoke about the last meeting, he was the only one that showed up and passed. 2 people showed up, he was the only one that passed. He never even returned his background. So he effectively removed himself from the process. And we are hosting through civil service, through Mr. Massey, another agility exam, which will be on June 25th. That's going to be pulling for the next 2 groups of candidates from the bilingual exam. That's going to put us into the 75 and 70 grades, and that actually concludes that exam. There's the potential of 12 candidates if they all respond and all want to take the exam.
But some out-aged, right?
There are, unless they could show us that they have military. Military can extend them up to 4 years.
Okay.
Graduation for the current Police Academy graduates, we have 3 in the Police Academy currently, will be July 9th at 10 o'clock a.m. at the Paramount Theater. If anyone would like to attend, if you just let me know. And then the next Police Academy begins on August 2nd, 2021. Any questions in regards to staffing?
We would have to get the packets going.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta make us work in July.
Unfortunately, yes. So as long as we have candidates, we may not have candidates after we do backgrounds, so we shall see. Training. Since the last time we met, just go through some quick trainings that the department has participated in. Drug identification, paraphernalia, and the motor vehicle stop. Managing civil unrest. Breath analysis operator instructor. Community trust building. Child passenger safety certifications. Firearms instructor course. Radar instructor course. Orange County Child Advocacy training. Runaways at risk until proven otherwise training. Force Science body-worn camera training. Reality-based training instructor course. And we are currently running our firearms range, our quarterly range. And then the last training that was attended was law enforcement officers killed and assaulted in the line of duty and officer safety and awareness training. Any discussion on the training?
No, sir.
Moving into the next item would be new programs that we are either looking into or implementing. We've spoken about in the past the fixed place license plate reader cameras. They are up. Not all of them are activated as of this time. I'm waiting on the electrician to activate 3 remaining. And then Q-Hit, which is the survey software that we spoke about, we're actually in the process of implementing the first survey that will be hopefully next month or so. We'll be able to start going out. As I mentioned before, it's a layered system. We start off slow with just a 2-question survey. And as we build support in the program, we add to the survey and some additional questions. Since the last time we've met, I've had 0 employees impacted by COVID virus. We have implemented the city's most recent COVID policy within the department, and we are still assisting with the COVID vaccination center at OC. We did just meet with the supervisor there to see if we could reduce our staffing because the numbers are extremely low. The supervisor has asked us not to do such because we are their only security at the location. So right now, it looks like we're going to run through at least mid to late July. The National Guard's been there from day one. They're on a humanitarian deployment. So they're there to direct people, help people, but not as a security measures.
And with no weapons, right, Chief?
No weapons. Some upcoming events that we are participating in. This Saturday, June 19th, the Juneteenth celebration that is in partnership with the city and with the organization It Matters 24/7. That'll be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Festival Square. We do have the 2 Youth Police Academy sessions scheduled for July 12th through the 16th and July 26th through the 30th. The Too Good for Drugs program has commenced the beginning of June. The first graduation will be July 14th, and we are running that in the evening. It's an hour-and-a-half session, and this is for the children that the parents would like them to attend the program that missed it due to the COVID restrictions that didn't allow us in the school. So we do have a full house right now. Seems to be a very good group, according to Officer Beebe, who's running the program. And depending on the response, we may do another one after that. There will be a fireworks celebration July 2nd, Davidge Park. We have started our fireworks compliance checks and enforcement detail. I have a group of officers going around to commercial locations, notifying them of the city laws and ensuring that they don't have anything for sale. They have also gone to housing locations, supplied the management companies with the documentation to encourage their residents not to utilize them as well. The fire department actually put up on their electronic sign the new code as well. So we're trying to hit it as many ways as we can to ensure that there is some form of compliance. We've pushed out on social media, and then we will have an enforcement component set up for that leading into the 4th of July weekend and through that weekend. On June 26th, the PBA has sponsored a car inspection program where they will assist in people's vehicles being inspected and then provided them whether it's going to be the actual item, equipment, if it's a light bulb or something minor that can be replaced and repaired, they'll take care of that. If not, we'll try to make arrangements to help them out to the best that we can. We'll be holding our quarterly supervisors meeting on June 22nd. And on July 1st, we will commence a training with our district attorney's office in which they will send members of their staff to the department to start reviewing our personnel files in regards to Giglio, Brady, and discovery material to see how we could all move forward together. They don't want to take any of the files, they just want to review to see what they may or may not need. Any discussion with the events?
Question about the inspection. What are they gonna do?
So based on the new discovery laws, and it's called Giglio or Brady materials, stuff that could be used against the officer, stuff from their past that could come out in a trial on their examination. So what they do is they come and they review that to see what they have to be made aware of. And so they're aware going into that.
I'm saying the PBA is doing some kind of inspection.
Oh, yes, of the vehicles.
So you pull up your car?
Yep, it's voluntary. If someone has any issue with their car, they could come there. The officers will check it over real quick. If there's a light bulb out, if it's something easy that we could get from a local vendor very quickly, we'll replace it for them and let them go about their business to avoid them getting stopped and issued a summons.
What if it's something safety and they can't fix?
Well, if it's a safety, like an inspection, like the Department of Motor Vehicles inspection, we're gonna have to send them to somewhere, but we're not advertising anything like that. Our advertisement is strictly light bulbs, minor things to help them get through without any violations. Any further discussion, questions? I do have one case that I would like to bring to the attention of the commission. It occurred on May 26th or 28th of this year. Somewhat of a sensitive case. It occurred at the high school, Middletown High School. It was a contractor was observed hanging a rope over the edge of the building and observed by a school representative that appeared to be what the school representative believed to be a noose. Immediately, there's no school that day, no children on campus, no staff on campus. It was just the contractors. Immediately went to the supervisor, had the gentleman removed from the project. We conducted a full investigation into it. Company out of Connecticut was doing some roofing stuff. There is some video. We actually pulled in employees, did interviews. They did say they were horsing around. They did actually tie up a noose on a piece of rope, showing it to each other, messing around. It was over the edge of the wall for about 3 to 4 seconds, which is confirmed by video as well. So it was not left there in any form or fashion. There's no one present on the grounds to observe it other than their own workers and one school staff member. So we did do a full investigation. We do have statements from the parties involved. We did conference this with the district attorney's office, and unfortunately, due to the circumstances, there's no way we could charge the individual for anything with that. We've even looked into lesser charges than the aggravated harassment charges, and because there was no intent to cause any public alarm, inconvenience, annoyance, there was no true victim to the crime, or it's not a crime because there was no victim. So we bounced this around for several days, actually, with the district attorney's office, and that was the end result, that there was really nothing criminally that we could do as a consequence to this individual. He's been removed, or they've been removed, and they actually wrapped up their job, so hopefully the school will do whatever they do and not have that group back there. Thoughts, discussion? Confused?
They're horsing around, like, playing with a noose?
Their explanation is that they hail from Connecticut, which I was unaware of this, but I guess there is some situations there in which similar incidents occurred at an Amazon facility where nooses were made and draped over their facade, like left there intentionally. The gentleman involved in this claimed that they were speaking of that incident and saying that wasn't a noose, this is a noose. Whether or not that's truthful, I don't know that. We did some workups on their social media to see if they had anything biased or racial or any affiliations. We found nothing. So unfortunately, we're chalking it up as a isolated incident, and because there was no true intent to cause that alarm or inconvenience, unfortunately, there is nothing criminally.
Chief, is that call been made by the district attorney, though, right?
Yes, that was made by a district attorney, and we followed up again with them in regards to lesser charges to see if we could charge like a disorderly conduct with reckless behavior. But because nobody was there, again, they told us that we're opening ourselves up to liability by charging something that we know we're not going to be able to prove. So I do believe that the detectives did a very thorough investigation. They put a lot of days into this to make sure that we covered all bases. In regards to internal complaints, currently right now, there are 2 personnel complaints that are being worked on by the lieutenants, and there are 9 supervisor investigations that are being worked on by the lieutenants. I did forward 3 investigations earlier today for review, and I understand you'll need time to review those. However, I did send out 5, 6 previously, so I don't know if you've had the opportunity to review those and if you would like to discuss them this evening, or would you like additional time?
Now, these complaints, these are civilian complaints against police officers?
The ones that are titled personnel complaints are from a civilian. The ones that are titled internal investigations, like an MVA or use of force injury, they are our internal standards that we follow up and do more thorough investigations into how they occurred and if there's any risk management, basically, to see how we could prevent certain things from happening again. So out of the ones that were sent to you, 2 of them were personnel complaints made by the public based on officers' behaviors or actions, and the other 4 were internal investigations based on policy and procedure.
You're talking about the complaints that I was emailed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, the ones today, no, but I did email some last month.
Yeah, I read those.
Okay.
And the ones that I received today. I didn't read them all.
Okay.
I think the previous reports were very clear.
Yeah.
Okay.
They were very clear. I have no questions or.
Okay. Would the commission like to vote to accept those, or would you like additional time?
I'll make a motion to accept them.
Second.
So we have a motion to accept and a second to accept, and let me just read through them for the record. Number 1 would be, it's internal investigation from September 10th, 2020 into alleged misconduct of an officer, and it was confirmed to be unfounded. The next one would be an internal investigation pertaining to an injury to a defendant dated September 27, 2020. The findings of that indicated that the injury was self-inflicted by the defendant and was not the result of the police officer involved. The next one would be an internal investigation regarding property damage as a result of a it's really not a motor vehicle accident, but a tire that was popped, dated November 20th, 2020. And next one would be a property damage accident, minor damage, officer backed or hit another piece of police department property with a police vehicle, dated March 24, 2021. And then the personnel complaint, the first one would be from December 11, 2020. The complaint was a Mr. Savarese. The finding in that was not sustained. And the last personnel complaint is from December 23rd, 2020, made by Mr. Mahichek, and that was withdrawn, but still investigated. They're the 6 that we're agreeing to accept. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. There's also 2 policies that I did send to the commission. One was today, so I don't know if you had the opportunity to review that one. The other one was a few days ago. Both were existing policies that just needed a few quick updates in language. The first one would have been the e-justice policy, OGO 03921, and the second would be OGO 00521, which is police vehicles. I don't know if the commission had time to review those. Okay, so we'll leave them for next meeting.
I read them, chief.
I read them too.
Well, I only got one.
We overwhelmed.
One eye.
That's right.
Again, with those, I'll leave them for you to read. Very minor changes. The police vehicle one is a accreditation standard requiring seatbelts must be worn. We had it before that they should be worn. Now it's a must. It's been our policy to ensure that people wear them anyway. But that, again, that's coming out through the state as a must. So we just had to update the language in that. The only other thing I have is some personnel information to discuss, which I would suggest that we go into executive session for, unless the commission has anything else they would like to discuss this evening. Mayor, should we ask if there's anyone online that has any comments?
Yeah, Eileen, you have anybody online?
We do not know.
Okay.
So, being there's nothing further to discuss, can I have a motion to go into executive session?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
All right.
Right.
Please be advised, this is the end of the public portion of this meeting.